So we'll be starting with rheumatoid arthritis. In the first part, we'll be covering the epidemiology. So the epidemiology of rheumatoid arthritis is it is a female predominant disease. With female to male equals 3:1 ratio. So why this is a female predominant disease? Because estrogen causes TNF alpha increase, which causes the disease manifestations. Here we have to note that TNF alpha is the principal cytokine or the pivotal cytokine of rheumatoid arthritis. Alright. So, what is the age group that is affected? Age group affected is 25 to 55 years of age. It goes on to increase till 75 years of age, and then it plateaus. The incidence of the disease is reducing while the prevalence is increasing. Now we'll go for the genetic part. The genetics. So the genetics is divided into HLA and non-HLA. So HLA locus accounts for 13% of the genetic risk, while non-HLA accounts for less than 5% of genetic risk. The total heritability of this disease is around 40% to 50%. Alright. So, which is the HLA locus that basically governs this disease? It is HLA-DR-B1, and in it is the third hypervariable region of the DR-B1 gene. 72-74 amino acids. Codes for a sequence known as QRKAA. Alright. Then we come to the HLA loci, which are important here. So the HLA loci that are important here are HLA DRB1 0101, then 0404 and 0401. So 0101 accounts for mild disease, 0404 accounts for moderate disease, and the combination of both 0401 accounts for the highest disease. Okay. In Asians, HLA DRB1 0405 and 0901 are of importance. So now we come to, these are the HLA genes accounting for 13% of the genetic risk, and total heritability is 40 to 50%. Now we come to the non-HLA genes. They account for less than 5% of the genetic risk. So here, the first one we'll go for is PTPN22. So PTPN22 has a gain of function mutation. Causes citrulination. Alright. And causes anti-CCP antibody positivity. Second, we have PADI4. This is a unique to RA, unique to Asians. It causes arginine conversion to citrulline. And also causes ACPA positivity. ACPA is anti-CCP antibody positivity. Alright. Then the third one we have is ApoM. So ApoM is basically essential for HDL maturation and atherosclerotic plaque formation reduction. So it is basically a protective mechanism. It causes reduced plaque formation. So what will happen here? It has a loss of function mutation. It causes dyslipidemia, which is independent of disease activity. Okay. And disease activity, funnily, is inversely proportional to your LDL concentration. So what will happen is that when the disease activity is low, the atherosclerotic risk will be higher. Now epigenetic modifications. Before that, we'll look at CTLA4. It is a negative co-stimulation molecule. Co-stimulation occurs when, see, this is the T cell, this is the antigen presenting cell, and this is the T cell. So this is the peptide, this is the T receptor, T cell receptor, this is the MHC molecule. So at this point of time, there occurs a co-stimulation between CD80, CD86 and CD28. So this is known as co-stimulation. So this will cause further activation and increased immune response. So CTLA inhibits this. So in case of a drug that we want to have, drug causing augmentation of CTLA preferred is preferred because we want to suppress immune response. So this is basically, the drug is abatacept. All right. So after this, we'll go for epigenetic modifications. Epigenetic modifications. Epigenetic modifications, only two names to be discussed here. There are two genes, MIR 146A, 146A and MIR 155. These are the epigenetic modifications that are common and cause increased pro-inflammatory response if they are silenced. Okay, so now we move on to environmental factors. In environmental factors, first environmental factor is smoking. So in smoking, what we need to understand is it causes increased citrullination in pulmonary alveoli. So the whole problem with RA is citrullination, because arginine converting to citrulline is the neoantigen that is formed. The neoantigen formed is citrulline, and against it the antibody, that is anti-CCP antibody, develops, and that causes all the problem. So smoking is a major problem, and smoking causes persistent high risk even after cessation of smoking. Persistent risk even after 15 years of cessation. That means cessation of smoking doesn't improve the disease. Then another thing we need to understand is, if there is genetic risk, it increases with smoking. Genetic risk as in HLA or non-HLA genes. Alright. And the gender plus smoking. In autoimmune diseases, most diseases are female predominant, so females are more at risk here. Okay. Then we come to other problems. The other problems is periodontitis. Periodontitis has a bacteria known as Porphyromonas gingivalis. It has indigenous PADI4 activity that causes arginine conversion to citrulline. This further contributes to ACPA positivity and symptoms. Okay. Then the other organisms that are involved are EBV. Okay. EBV is also seen in the synovial lining as well as synovial fluid. Okay. Now the synovial fluid and the synovial lining. Synovial fluid and synovial membrane. These are the two things that are very important. So most common cell in the synovial membrane, most common cell in this is T lymphocyte. While most common cell in synovial fluid is a polymorphonuclear cell. And what is the hallmark of pathology? Hallmark of RA is Panus formation. So what happens basically is a thickened cellular membrane contains fibroblast like synoviocytes, and this causes invasion of the cartilage and the bone. So fibroblast like synoviocytes causes invasion of the bone plus cartilage, and here synovial membrane contains T lymphocytes which are activated, and lymphoid follicles plus germinal centers are also activated, causing aggregation of T cells, B cells, dendritic cells, plasma cells, and mast cells. And these follicular like synoviocytes also produce certain macroangiogenesis. Causing the formation of vascular Panus, which is the hallmark lesion of RA. There is also an occurrence of osteoclast activation. This occurs at the Panus and bone interface. This causes thinning of the bony trabeculae, thinning of bone. Let us understand it like this, causing marginal erosions. And what is the best way to pick it up is MRI. MRI picks up the bone marrow edema, the bony erosions, and generalized osteoporosis. So where does this marginal erosion begin? It begins at the juxtasynovial attachment. At the synovial attachment, causing damage to proteoglycan at the superficial layer of the bone. Also, it causes damage to the prechondrocyte area at the deeper junctions. So, summing it up, superficial areas, proteoglycan loss, deeper areas, prechondrocytic loss. How does both of them occur? They both occur via osteoclast activation at the pannus bone interface. So now we look at the pathogenesis. Pathogenesis is, so when the HLA and the non-HLA factors plus smoking plus environmental factors like Porphyromonas gingivalis, they activate certain receptors which are known as toll-like receptors. Toll-like receptors 2, 3 and 4, they cause take-up of the self-antigen. They are processed by antigen presenting cells co-stimulation occurs after MHC presentation and T cells are activated. Once T cells are activated, so this disease is mainly a Th1 response. In Th1 response, there are three responses basically: Th1, Th2 and Th17. So in case of Th1, the main cytokines are interferon gamma and TNF alpha. Here Th2 will be IL4, IL5, IL13 and Th17 will be IL17 and 22. So this disease predominantly is a Th1 response greater than Th17 response. Alright. So the Th1 response will have interferon gamma and TNF alpha. This will cause receptor activation of the intracellular signaling pathways. So that will cause JAK-STAT pathway, MAP kinase pathway, spleen tyrosine pathway, and NF kappa beta pathway. So now we have drugs against everything. So the drugs against this are JAK-STAT pathway. The drugs are tofacitinib and baricitinib. All right. And a very new drug against NF kappa beta is now there, which is an add-on to methotrexate. It is known as igratimod. Only used in Japan as add-on to methotrexate. Okay. There is another thing that happens. Once the T cell activates, it causes B cell activation. That causes germinal center, activation, lymphoid follicles are activated down the line, plasma cells are formed, they produce antibodies, RF antibody and anti-CCP antibody. So the self antigen reacts with this antibody, RF and anti-CCP. Complement activation occurs. And joint destruction starts occurring. Okay. So this is how it happens. This is about the pathogenesis. One thing again, it is slightly extra, but what are the target antigens for citrullination? The target antigens for citrullination are vimentin, filaggrin, keratin, fibrinogen, type 2 collagen, human cartilage, GP39, aggrecan. Aggregans has a good role to play in osteoarthritis as well. Calpastane, immunoglobulin, binding protein, also known as BIP, and glucose 6 phosphate isomerase. So we finished the epidemiology and the pathogenesis and the environmental factors. This is the first part. I'll be uploading the second part soon. Thank you.